So it's always a pleasure to host the Polish president, and this is a tradition that we've been able to continue since the first democratic elections in Poland in the early 1990s. The American Chamber of Commerce has had an opportunity to meet with each and every president in some form or another, and so we greatly appreciate President Duda joining us today. To begin the next stage of our summit and set the stage for that discussion, we would like to present to you a short film that we think you'll find provides a little bit of food for thought, but also I think will set the mood for our next level of talks. Thank you.
America is eager to expand our partnership with you. We welcome stronger ties of trade and commerce as you grow your economies.
Here we see the strength of free nations that stand united.
Poland's trade turnover with the United States reached a record $12.7 billion in 2017. That's an increase of 22% when compared to the year before.
Last year was absolutely fantastic for our mutual collaboration. Our trading exchange has risen about 22%. Total number of Polish people being employed by the American companies, it is today 220,000 people.
Stany Zjednoczone nie mają chyba w Europie równie solidarnego, równie oddanego partnera jak naród polski.
The broad exchange of people and ideas between the United States and Poland is strong.
The value of American investment in Poland is estimated at almost $42 billion. And that translates into over 220,000 jobs. Currently, around 60 Polish companies are active in the United States.
And we look forward to expanding our partnership with Poland in food, in technology, in manufacturing, in healthcare and pharmaceuticals.
Polish people to the universities, but people from other countries, they graduate people with a lot of skills, particularly engineering, mathy skills, which are very, very important to our own business.
In the fall of 2017, Poland signed a 5-year contract to import liquefied natural gas, LNG, from the United States. Another hallmark of a blooming cooperation, the largest arms deal in Polish history, as Warsaw has signed a contract to buy the Patriot missile defense system.
Niezwykły moment, powiedziałbym wręcz moment historyczny.
Wchodzimy poprzez ten zakup do pierwszej światowej ligi zmodernizowanych armii.
So ladies and gentlemen, a little visual eye candy to get you started to think about the day today. I also would like to, if somebody would tell me what I'm supposed to say on this monitor, that would be great. Oh, there we go. To further grow, though, the linkages, we're gathered here from a range of sectors today, and the opportunities that are in this room to provide the next level of prosperity. And this can be artificial intelligence, smart cities, smart factories, life sciences, aerospace, pharmaceuticals, agribusiness, new types of financial services, and indeed new technologies and business models that we didn't even think about a few years ago. An integral part of the strong relationship is the role of the U.S. Embassy, though, in this dynamic, and the role of the commercial service. Their effort and their energy in helping us move forward with the economic and security dialogue is absolutely critical to American investors, and indeed in helping us open up the U.S. market for the next group of Polish investors. If I could show you something, though, I'd like to see if we can pop up a map about the U.S. investment in Poland. Now, there's not room on this map to show you 500 plus investment sites. So this is just showing some of the key clusters where there's more than 10, 12, or 15 U.S. companies gathered. Otherwise, we'd see nothing but blue dots and we wouldn't see the outline of this beautiful country. But one of the things I would like to stress is that as our companies invest here in Poland, we invest throughout the country. You know, we are not a megapolis-focused investment community. We are in small cities, we are in rural areas, and we're in every major metropolitan area in the country. And so we're very pleased with that. But also, I would like to show you a map of where Polish companies are going in the United States. And as you can see, it's also not concentrated in a single city. Polish companies are making that investment move from Florida up to New England. Of course, you see a significant amount in California, but also because of the close ties in Illinois and also the strong relationship that's developed with the state of Nevada, for instance, we're seeing good presence there. And so we hope that that map will continue to populate so we have the same visualization problem that we have on the U.S. map. So with these images in mind, the film that you just saw, thinking about the future, it is a great pleasure to ask our friend and honorary chairman and ambassador of the United States to share his thoughts on the U.S. Poland relations here at Summit 2018, what he has learned during his tenure here, and how we move forward together. Ladies and gentlemen, Ambassador Paul Jones.
Dzień dobry. Good day to everybody. I will speak in English, if that's okay. I really want to thank President Duda for giving us such a thoughtful, really terrific overview of where we've come and where we want to go in this tremendous relationship between the United States and Poland in our business, in our commerce, and our economic relationship. Thank you so much to Tony, to Eric, my friend whom I'm blanking up here, having a senior moment, this incredible partnership that we have with these extraordinary allies, the American Chamber and the U.S. Polish Business Council, brought us together, and we're delighted to be working with you, delighted to be here today. I see so many friends out here across in the room. It's such a great pleasure. I've seen you in your places of business all across Poland. Seen you government representatives in your ministries, seen many of you in my home, seen you in Washington on the representatives there on frequent visits back to Washington. And if that is the case for me, that goes at least double, 3-4 times to our terrific team from our Commerce Department, Charlie Renato, the head of our Foreign Commercial Service here, backed up by a terrific interagency team, a State Department economic section in our embassy, our Foreign Agricultural Service, our Office of Defense Cooperation. Those relationships, that understanding, I think is so critical to where we've come, because it's the people in this room, people like you that make the decisions, that provide the opportunities, that create the jobs, that creates that R&D, that creates the consumer choice, that moves us ahead in high technology, in defense and security, moves us ahead in energy security, responds to the desires of our peoples, of our countries for more prosperity, more stability, more security in a world that sometimes feels a little less so. So I really want to say how important it is. We've got the statistics to back it up. This great story that American business has played, this great role American business has played in this remarkable story of Poland's economic growth and development over the last couple of decades, more. And I know from my own experience in hearing all the stories that went into that, it's the people who made the decisions. It's the people who looked and took a fresh look and saw an opportunity and said, here's what we got to change to grow that prosperity. So we can take this extraordinary turnout and this amazing summit that we're just opening today as an affirmation of all that we've done together over the last couple of decades. And it really is a terrific affirmation of what you have all done. But we'd also like to take it as President Duda pointed out, as a foundation, as a pivot point for doing a lot more, because there's a lot of room to grow. There's a lot of room to grow in our trading relationship in both directions. There's a lot of room to grow in our investment relationship. Our economies are growing. Both countries' economy is growing very well. The sectors that offer the most opportunity are growing in both our economies. Our people expect that this relationship is going to deliver more for them. So I know that everyone here is going to take full advantage of the networking opportunities during this summit, full advantage of the opportunities for really frank, really candid conversations, real feedback to your counterparts in business and government about how to make that happen. Now, our role from the U.S. government, from the U.S. Embassy, from the Polish government, is to make sure that this environment for business, this playing field, is fair, level, vibrant, encouraging, that there are predictable, transparent rules that business can seize upon and that you all can seize upon. So we will continue to focus on every way we can on developing that environment so that our business can flourish in both our countries. This relationship between the United States and Poland is truly strategic. We all know it. We all feel the importance of the security ties, the importance of our people-to-people ties in this 100th anniversary of Poland regaining its independence. And a foundation of it, a real cornerstone of it, is this business relationship, this commercial relationship. I truly believe that the work you will do, partly over these next couple of days, will allow us to step up that next higher level that'll provide for our peoples and give an economic resiliency to our countries. And that when we look back a few years from now, we will see that this time, with this business community, with these governments, with this summit, we took a pivot. And our trade, our investment, and the delivery of what our consumers, what our peoples want, took off. So I wish you well. You got our full support. Thank you so much to the American Chamber. Thank you so much to the U.S. Business Council, to Tony, to Eric, to all of you. Thank you so much to you participants for coming this way, those who have traveled far, for those who have traveled just from another part of Poland. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to a really exciting, a really vibrant conversation. Dziękuję bardzo. Sorry, Eric.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. I want to say, on a personal note to you, many ambassadors are obviously great diplomats and do their jobs very well on a strategic level. Ambassador Jones is one of the most respected diplomats we have in our State Department. But what I love about Ambassador Jones is every time we meet, he always says, "What can I do to help?" And he's very, not just interested in business, but he wants to play a role in making sure we have success. So thank you for your continued leadership. Many of us in our U.S. business roles, and certainly in AmCham and the U.S. Poland Business Council, work closely with our partners in the Polish government across a range of ministries and agencies to promote investment and trade. What is also vital is the important support for investment and trade from the administration in Washington, free and fair trade, lower investment barriers, and advocacy for American companies. This is at the heart of the United States Department of Commerce's mission. We're delighted to welcome to the summit Assistant Secretary Erin Walsh. She's the head of global markets and the Director General for the Commercial Service. Secretary has an extensive international experience with both the Department of Commerce and State Department, and before her appointment, served as Special Assistant to President Donald Trump. I would also like to just say, Secretary Walsh, that there are a few here in the room that were here for our very first summit, which was in 2003. There were about 30 people in the room. I'm looking at Dorota, she's shaking her head. this is unbelievable. I mean, when you look at 350 people in the room. So with that, I say a great welcome to you from a much bigger and much more diverse and much more successful business community. Thank you very much, Secretary Walsh.
Good morning. I'm low-tech, so I'm just going with the paper here. It's such a wonderful opportunity to be here. Thank you, Eric, for that kind introduction, to Tony, to the ambassador, to Charlie, to Eli, to all of you here today. Thank you to President Duda, Prime Minister Morawiecki, Prime Minister Emilewicz, and Ambassador Jones, and the representatives from the U.S. and Polish companies for your presence here today. I would also like to thank, as I did, Eric Stewart from the U.S. Polish Business Council and Tony Hausch of the American Chamber of Commerce in Poland for working with our team to organize such a timely and important event. We have a prestigious group here from government, private sector joining us, including a number of leading U.S. companies from an array of sectors, and I look forward to a very fruitful day of discussions. I am proud and humbled to be addressing all of you in the same city where President Trump, just 9 months ago, visited to reaffirm the important truth. America loves Poland, and America loves the Polish people. If I might, for just a second, take time to say that I actually love the Polish people and Poland as well. I actually first learned about Poland in 1978 when a man came out on the balcony of the Vatican and said, "I am from a faraway land." And it was Pope John Paul II. A few years later, I began working for President Reagan, and then at the State Department for Secretary Shultz. This was before the fall of the wall. And we hosted a Minister of Economy, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the Minister of Defense. I would say that the relationships at that time were quite tense. Unlike today, when we see President Duda and our people from business coming to share what they have. The relationship with the president at that time, Reagan, and the Pope really grew a major foundation, and that began to grow the love for Poland as well. That was 40 years ago. Today, we are celebrating this year the 100th anniversary of the independence of Poland. So it's really quite a remarkable time, which is really the foundation of our relationship, long relationship with Poland. And only through trust and understanding and knowledge of a people will you have the capability to have such strong business ties. While the purpose of this summit is to reaffirm and strengthen the commercial and economic partnership that exists between the United States and Poland, I want to take a moment to underscore the timing of this event, as it does coincide with the centennial of Poland regaining its independence. The bonds of friendship and cooperation between the United States and Poland are so strong today because of a shared history of defenders of freedom on the battlefield over the last 100 years, and with a common vision for security and prosperity and friendship for the next 100 years. Recently, the Polish government made a tangible commitment in their security with the purchase of the battle-tested Patriot air and missile defense system. It's yet another illustration of the strong example that Poland sets as an active NATO member, fulfilling the pledge to allocate at least 2% of GDP to defense. So yay, Poland, for that. We applaud your continued commitment to our mutual security. The United States is proud to stand together with the Polish government to strengthen regional security in the name of freedom and democracy. Similarly, we are committed to supporting Poland's desire to combat threats and increase its overall security position. I was encouraged to learn that several cutting-edge U.S. firms, including IBM, Citi, and Cisco, operate major cybersecurity facilities in Poland, and it is critical to continue to press for a strong public-private partnership to maximize efforts. However, security isn't the only product that we have in the nuts and bolts of a national and regional defense system. Our economic security is also key. As President Trump recently said in the National Security Strategy, our economic security is our national security. And it's what I hope to highlight here today. Increased bilateral trade and investment will result in greater economic prosperity in both of our great countries, as President Duda remarked in his speech. The Commerce Department is committed to reinforcing and implementing President Trump's commercial agenda to support, defend, and bolster the American economy through the promotion of free, fair, and reciprocal trade. Poland strives towards the same goal of free and fair trade, and our bilateral commercial relationship complements the shared agenda. In 2017, U.S. Poland trade totaled just shy of $12 billion, with U.S. investment into Poland standing at $11.6 billion in 2016, supporting nearly 190,000 jobs. This represents a 22% increase in our total trade from 2016, a clear sign that our commercial bonds are ever more important and beneficial. While sizable, these numbers reveal that there's still a great deal of room for growth in creating a more robust trade relationship, which I believe is the main reason we all have gathered today for the summit. Today, the United States represents only 2% of Polish imports. We have a strong desire and capacity to do much more in business, and we see Poland as an ideal priority market moving forward. We certainly do at the Department of Commerce. There are ample opportunities to do business together, particularly in areas where Poland has a need and a desire to enhance its security, such as defense and energy. The Polish government's deal to secure Phase 1 of the Patriot system is a crucial step in successfully implementing its multi-year defense modernization program. The United States is also positioned to further ensure Poland's energy security. As the Polish government's diversification of its energy portfolio continues to expand into LNG, United States exporters are primed to ship LNG to Poland via the terminal in Świnoujście. Not so good, huh? On the Baltic coast. This has indeed already begun. You're so sweet. Thank you. As the first shipment from the U.S. firm Cheniere arrived in Poland in June of last year, with a multi-year deal of Cheniere-sourced LNG soon to follow. I had an opportunity last month to go down and to see some shipments departing from the Cheniere terminal, and it's really, really exciting to see them going to places like Poland. We are also ready to assist Poland's enhancing its energy infrastructure as it continues to quickly develop projects to increase gas delivery throughout the country. While trade between our two nations continues to grow, U.S. investment in Poland remains strong since Poland's economy opened nearly 30 years ago. Today, U.S. investment in Poland stands at about $11.6 billion, as I mentioned, and straddles many diverse sectors from news media and wind energy to healthcare and agricultural products. We invite all interested Polish investors to attend our Select USA Investment Summit taking place June 20th through 22nd in Washington, where they'll have the opportunity to find out how to invest in the United States by engaging with officials from the economic development organizations from across, well, we have 48 states participating, not 50, and matchmaking with potential business partners from all across the country. Secretary Ross will be heading that up with a number of cabinet members and governors who will also be participating. Let our two governments continue to foster free and transparent environments for our business, providing a foundation for ever closer bilateral economic ties. That indeed is what gatherings like these are all about, and I look forward to today's dialogue, utilizing this opportunity to bolster commercial linkages between the United States and Poland. Thank you very much, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. We're glad that you could join us after Hannover Messe, and hopefully this is as equally as exciting as your visit there. Having heard from the President, the Ambassador, the Assistant Secretary, I'd like to move our focus a little bit from the policy making more to the execution of ideas and visions. Because we're talking about impact that trade and investment have, not only in statistics, but on impact that trade and investment has on countries and communities. So I'm pleased to introduce Piotr Baczyński. He's the CEO of Immersion, a Polish company with a unique vision and a unique approach to the U.S. market. And I think this points part of the way forward in terms of what we can expect. And as I mentioned earlier, things that we didn't even think about 5 years ago are now the reality and the future. So with that, Piotr, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to speak in front of such honorable audience. Well, my adventure with the USA and American business started in 2007 when I traveled there with the work and travel program. I did the same thing a year ago. I went to Ireland, a year before. I went to Ireland looking for a job. It took me weeks to find it. And once I got to Charleston in South Carolina, I found the job within an hour. So I said to myself, this is a cool place. For the next 6 months, I worked as a waiter in a local Italian restaurant called Olive Garden. It took me a few weeks to realize, much like Buzz Astral in Toy Story, that there's actually thousands of those places. Yet, during those few months, I improved my English over what I learned before from Cartoon Network and South Park. And I learned a lot about American ethics and the way of life. Some things didn't stop to amaze me, such as the incredible friendliness of the locals, as well as the fact that a waiter can spend a week in Disneyland on his 1 week's pay. It truly was a land of opportunity. I came back to Poland to finish my college, and I'm still working on it. But I knew that I would definitely come back. A few years later, I started my first company. It was an interactive agency doing websites and Facebook apps, and suddenly America called. My company has been selected by the Facebook Accelerate program. It was an initiative helping young companies to learn more about scaling up their business models, and the technology itself. At that time, I got fascinated by the technology of virtual reality that was just brought back to life by an 18-year-old geek who created the Oculus Rift, the first modern virtual reality headset. And I was carrying that prototype everywhere with me. During one of my visits in Facebook offices in Ireland, I learned that Facebook just bought this technology from this 18-year-old boy for $2 billion. So I ran to Facebook and I told them, guys, the technology you just got, we are working with it. And they said, well, that's great. Could you show us how it works? Because we didn't have the chance to actually see it yet. So there we was, showing Facebook their own technology. That gave us a lot of confidence, and we realized that we might be able to create something interesting, something that might be interesting even for those huge, incredibly big companies. Yet, once I started Immersion, it took me 2 years to get my first client in the United States. After sending hundreds of emails, having numerous calls, I realized that in the United States, even though the technology is quite popular, a conversation still beats an email. So we decided to fly to Los Angeles and present our products on a trade show. We had a tiny stand, and it was very hard to present what we do in this crowded space, but we got lucky again. One of the vice presidents of one of the largest virtual reality companies from San Francisco left his jacket at our stand. So now, having his jacket as hostage, we were able to spend some more time with him and explain what we do. We were lucky quite a few times. On another occasion, one of the senior Oculus employees came to my birthday in Warsaw by accident. So a few months later, that company took us to CES in Las Vegas, and things accelerated from that on. So virtual reality is an incredible technology. It lets you visit any place we can visualize data, take you to any location in the world. We can create interactive experiences out of TV shows and movies, so you can relive it through, from a perspective of a character. We can take you to China, so you can spend some time with pandas. We can recreate incredible stories, incredible characters, such as Nellie Bly, the first female traveler that traveled the world, or stories of terrible criminal characters like the Unabomber. And this was one of the coolest moments in our work so far, when we were doing a virtual reality application about the story of the Unabomber for the museum in Washington, D.C. We called the actual agent, FBI agent, that caught him. And it turned out that he heard about us. So, as in the movies, FBI knows everything. We can also bring back to life extinct animals, dinosaurs, and put them right in your room, as we do right now with the Discovery communication. There is incredible potential in Polish-American cooperation. First of all, Poland has incredible IT staff. We have one of the best, if not the best, programmers in the world. I don't know why. I blame the weather. There's just not so much to do. So they really excel at what they do. But what we lack sometimes is, from my personal opinion, sometimes we lack the courage and the faith to believe that what we do can actually succeed on a global market. And I think that this mentality of making it, of going big, is something that is really abundant in the United States. So I'd like to urge Polish companies, especially Polish startups, to not be afraid to go to the United States, to present their technologies to anyone who's willing to listen. And Americans are really great listeners. Because it might happen that this huge, incredible, multi-billion company needs exactly what you're offering. And at the same time, I'd like to urge American companies to look closely here, because this might be the next land of the unicorns. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Piotr. Virtual reality, of course, is one of those things that I don't understand very well, and I get dizzy when I put it on. But I did have an inspiring moment in a brief meeting with the president, and unfortunately Eric witnessed this. I actually pronounced virtual reality in Polish, and if you don't speak Polish as a native speaker, it's not a pleasant thing to do, particularly in front of the president. See, that's my own vision of bravery and ambition. But I do think that we are entering a brave new world in many areas. But I do think that, as Piotr mentioned, that ambition and self-belief is very important. And to continue that theme of aspirational business, I'm very pleased to welcome to the stage Mirosław Bendzera. He's the CEO of Famur, and he has some ideas about finding success on the Polish market and the opportunities it presents. Mirosław? Yeah, come on up. Yeah. Welcome.
Dziękuję bardzo. Szanowni Państwo, pomimo tego, że reprezentuję branżę zupełnie odmienną od mojego przedmówcy, która na polskim rynku ma już swoją ponad 100-letnią historię, kojarzy się raczej z dużymi instalacjami, z maszynami, które niejednokrotnie przekraczają swoim rozmiarem wielkość Stadionu Narodowego, to chciałem potwierdzić, że to, o czym mówił mój kolega wcześniej, działa w rzeczywistości. Wykorzystujemy w naszej firmie również wirtualną technologię. Tworzymy wirtualne struktury do przeprowadzania szkoleń naszych pracowników. Stworzyliśmy między innymi wirtualny model kopalni. Tworzymy wirtualne modele maszyn, które jesteśmy w stanie w sposób bardzo efektywny testować. Ale postaram się skracać, ponieważ z reguły staram się mówić bardzo spontanicznie, ale tym razem jadąc na to spotkanie, moje służby prasowe powiedziały: panie prezesie, jedzie pan na bardzo ważne spotkanie, proszę nie improwizować, trzymać się ściśle określonego trybu prezentacji i postaram się to właśnie teraz zrobić, jak najlepiej potrafię. As one of the representatives of Polish industrial companies present at this year's Polish-American Business Summit, I would like to start by expressing my great thanks to American Chamber of Commerce in Poland and U.S. Poland Business Council from Washington for organizing the annual meeting, the meeting which strengthens business relation between our countries. Szanowni Państwo, stulecie odzyskania przez Polskę niepodległości, które obchodzimy w tym roku, jest szczególnym, bardzo symbolicznym czasem, który tego rodzaju spotkaniom nadaje zupełnie inny charakter. Warto więc w tym miejscu podkreślić rolę polskich firm, które realizując odważną wizję rozwoju, między innymi poprzez ekspansję zagraniczną, bardzo mocno wspierają polską gospodarkę, stając się polskimi czempionami, obecnymi również na bardzo ważnym i pełnym wielu możliwości rynku amerykańskim. Grupa Famur, którą mam przyjemność reprezentować, od ponad wieku bierze udział w bardzo aktywnym budowaniu polskiego przemysłu, dostarczając bardzo wysokiej jakości urządzenia dla branży wydobywczej, energetycznej i przeładunkowej. Najpierw pomagaliśmy w jej budowaniu i stopniowej automatyzacji, obecnie modernizujemy ją, wprowadzając innowacyjne technologie oparte o system technologii przemysłu 4.0. 16 lat temu otwarliśmy zupełnie nowy rozdział w historii naszej firmy, rozpoczynając proces konsolidacji krajowej branży producentów maszyn i systemów okołogórniczych. Kończymy go właśnie w tym roku, finalizując integrację z naszym największym polskim konkurentem, grupą Copex. Przemyślana strategia i stabilny rozwój pozwoliły nam zbudować silną polską markę, która już dziś należy do światowej czołówki producentów kompleksowych rozwiązań technologicznych. Nasze doświadczenia wykorzystujemy, budując i realizując strategię ekspansji zagranicznej, która od samego początku była niezwykle ważnym elementem naszego rozwoju. Łącząc ją z konsekwentną rozbudową oferty oraz pracą nad globalną rozpoznawalnością naszej firmy, jesteśmy obecni dzisiaj na 5 kontynentach, promując w świecie nie tylko naszą firmę, ale przede wszystkim markę Made in Poland. Już dzisiaj rozwiązania Famuru wspierają naszych klientów w ponad 25 krajach świata, między innymi w Norwegii, w Holandii, Rosji, Kazachstanie, Turcji, Meksyku, Argentynie, Indiach, Indonezji czy w tak egzotycznych rejonach jak Mozambik czy Republika Południowej Afryki. W roku 2017 już prawie 40% naszych przychodów było właśnie dedykowane dla rynków eksportowych. Dzięki integracji z grupą Copex w najbliższej przyszłości planujemy konsekwentnie rozwijać eksport i zwiększać nasze zaangażowanie zarówno w krajach, w których mamy już ugruntowaną pozycję, ale również tam, gdzie tę pozycję dopiero budujemy, między innymi w Stanach Zjednoczonych, w Australii i Kanadzie. Stany Zjednoczone są dla grupy Famur jednym z ważniejszych kierunków strategicznych i to nie tylko dlatego, że są trzecim co do wielkości światowym producentem węgla, ale przede wszystkim dlatego, że istotne są dla nas także przebyte drogi i doświadczenia, które łączą oba kraje. W Polsce i w Stanach Zjednoczonych branża wydobywcza ma długą historię, jest jednym z bardzo ważnych elementów ekosystemu gospodarczego, który wciąż ewoluuje i dostosowuje się do dzisiejszych oczekiwań rynku. Współpracę ze Stanami Zjednoczonymi postrzegamy jako niezmiernie ważną, nie tylko na poziomie kooperacji spółek, ale przede wszystkim w kontekście systemowym, w kontekście współpracy całych gospodarek. Wierzymy, że koncepcją globalnego rozwoju grupa Famur i wiele innych spółek, które są dziś obecne na polsko-amerykańskim szczycie gospodarczym, wpisujemy się w rządową strategię na rzecz odpowiedzialnego rozwoju, której kluczowymi filarami jest rozwój innowacyjnych firm oraz ich ekspansja zagraniczna. Jako Famur skupiamy się na rozwijaniu swojego biznesu w taki sposób, by budować wartość nie tylko dla naszych akcjonariuszy, ale również dla naszych pracowników, dla naszej społeczności lokalnej i w konsekwencji całej gospodarki. Nasze plany rozwoju i działania na arenie międzynarodowej spotykają się ze zrozumieniem i wsparciem organizacji rządowych, za co bardzo dziękujemy. Już dzisiaj możemy korzystać ze wsparcia instytucji takich jak Polski Fundusz Rozwoju, Polska Agencja Inwestycji i Handlu czy Korporacja Ubezpieczeń Kredytów Eksportowych i Bank Gospodarstwa Krajowego. Bardzo doceniamy kompleksowość tej oferty i muszę przyznać, że wykorzystujemy ją w codziennej pracy. Chciałbym również podkreślić, że głęboko wierzę w siłę polskiej gospodarki, ponieważ już dziś wiele polskich firm jest gotowych, by efektywnie wykorzystać wartość, którą zbudowały. Mamy doświadczenie, mamy kompetencje, mamy know-how, dzięki którym możemy z sukcesem rywalizować z globalnymi liderami w wielu branżach. Aby globalna ekspansja polskich firm stała się faktem, musimy oczywiście wykonać bardzo solidną pracę my jako przedsiębiorcy, ale również liczy się bardzo aktywne i mocne wsparcie ze strony instytucji dyplomacji gospodarczej. Dlatego tak ważne są inicjatywy jak ten dzisiejszy polsko-amerykański szczyt gospodarczy. To właśnie tutaj, poza nawiązywaniem, pogłębianiem relacji biznesowych, możemy rozmawiać z przedstawicielami instytucji finansowych o tym, jakie trudności napotykamy we współpracy, jakie elementy wsparcia już dzisiaj działają i możemy je efektywnie implementować, oraz które wymagają jeszcze dopasowania i dostosowania do dzisiejszych oczekiwań rynku. Chciałbym więc z tego miejsca wyrazić swoje serdeczne podziękowania Amerykańskiej Izbie Handlowej w Polsce, Polsko-Amerykańskiej Radzie Biznesu z Waszyngtonu, Polskiej Agencji Inwestycji i Handlu, Ambasadzie Stanów Zjednoczonych w Warszawie oraz Ministerstwom Spraw Zagranicznych i Ministerstwu Przedsiębiorczości i Technologii za zorganizowanie tego naprawdę bardzo istotnego spotkania. Dziękuję również prezydentowi Rzeczypospolitej, panu Andrzejowi Dudzie oraz pani Erin Walsh, asystent sekretarza handlu USA, oraz panu ambasadorowi Stanów Zjednoczonych w Polsce, panu Paulowi W. Jonesowi, za ich wkład w budowanie dobrych stosunków między naszymi krajami. Bardzo Państwu dziękuję i liczę, że wszyscy będziemy dzisiaj mieli bardzo owocne i dobre spotkania. Dziękuję bardzo.
Dziękuję, Mirosław. I thought that having several Polish companies present it bookends, because you think virtual reality, that's state of the art, but when we also look at new types of production technology and how we harness energies and make things happen, traditional industry can also be state of the art and modern. And I think that we're looking at a convergence, and that's also a great opportunity, both for Polish companies, but also for the relationship and identifying these properly. But I think I would like to ask our next speaker to maybe touch on an issue which also is very important in the trade and investment relationship, and that is impact. Because when we do things as investors, when we do things as companies, the ripple effect that has for our employees, for our communities, for our markets is also very important. And I think when you take a long-term perspective, such as Coca-Cola in Central and Eastern Europe, they can not only speak to that, but also what the environment is and what makes this region attractive for them. So with that, I would like to welcome the Vice President for Central and Eastern Europe at Coca-Cola, Lana Popovic. Lana, welcome.
Madam Secretary, Ambassador, distinguished guests. The deeply rooted bond between Poland and the United States of America did not start yesterday, and the story of mutual relations is full of shared commitments, friendship, and admiration, and also in the field of business. Today, Coca-Cola enjoys the opportunity to celebrate 100th anniversary of the economic ties. And we are also very proud to acknowledge that we have been shaping this common story since 1957, when bottles of Coca-Cola appeared in Poland for the very first time. We have engaged even more in 1972, when manufacturing of Coca-Cola began at the Warsaw Brewery. We saw the symbolic strength of Coca-Cola Western's appeal when the beverages hit the shelves across Polish stores. And freedom-hungry consumers bought nearly 6,000 bottles in the first hour of Coca-Cola in the sales of Warsaw Superzam and Sezam stores. We started building the infrastructure here in 1991, signaling Poland's long-awaited march towards West. And we were lucky, and we're still lucky, that the talented, enthusiastic, and entrepreneurial Poles could now make a Coca-Cola a company of their own. And Poles succeeded in making the company a vital part of Poland's economy. Right now, 94% of our products sold in Poland are manufactured here in Polish plants. And the 3/4 of each Polish zloty that is spent on Coca-Cola stays here in Poland. And we share employment opportunities with over 15,000 people in different sectors of the economy. And only since 2012, Coca-Cola system has invested more than 435 million Polish zloty in Poland, and we're not going to stop here. We have plans to continue and accelerate. For us, it is crucial to grow our business the right way and not just the easy way. And our experiences made us aware that social development is just as important as economic development. For example, the thriving labor market brings benefits both to the local economy and for the society. And being a responsible employer, we care about creating conditions for further sustainable development of our company as well as the country we operate in. This is why one of our investment streams is dedicated to this area, and we choose specific social groups such as women or youth that are still a hidden assets on the Polish labor market. And we never settle. We are always in search for new creative solutions, aiming to maximize the good in the world while minimizing the bad. And profitability is important, but not at any cost. And people do matter. Our planet matters. We do our business the right way by following our values and working towards the solutions that benefit us all. And everywhere we operate, we do so at the pleasure of the communities we serve. The social license to operate is a privilege. It's not the right. And that's one of the many reasons we must do business responsibly and respectfully. Today's event is also an appropriate occasion to remind ourselves that we are privileged to sit here. And investors, politicians, and civil society leaders, we share a certain kind of responsibility. And companies like Coca-Cola can help lead the way towards solutions that works for everyone. And one may ask, what are you doing exactly that works for everyone? And we are doing more and more every day to reduce the sugar added to our beverages. And we long to provide people with more nutrition options so that they can better manage their diet and their health. But that's not all. We are leading the way in addressing the waste problem by setting out a vision to collect and recycle every bottle and every can that is sold out there. And for years, we have been leading in water management innovation. Today, we're able to return the equivalent of 100% of the water we use in our drinks back to our communities. Companies like Coca-Cola, companies like ours, should be leaders and should act like leaders because we have the ability to make a real, lasting impact and difference in the world. But today's event is maybe the most appropriate occasion to launch the next great century of Polish-American business cooperation. And the first among the many opportunities was our cooperation with Immersion, the CEO of which Piotr was spoken just a minute ago. And I'm sure that you learned about the virtual reality that looks just like the real one. And exactly for that and many others, Poland should be applauded for being an incubator in which such great world-class innovators and innovative companies may thrive. And in the end, the reality has been changing, but what will never change is our commitment to be a responsible investor in Poland. And this commitment also means that Coca-Cola has deep respect for Poland's proud history, its robust economy, and the experiences shared with the United States of America. May the next 100 years make the deeply rooted bond between these two countries even more exceptional than it is today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lana. I think when we think about impact, I think also it's very important that we communicate as ambassadors for investment and trade, this very human side of what we do. Finally, before we take a break, we come to something that is critically important to the reason we're meeting here today and the takeaway that we'll get from that. Following a report that was commissioned a few years ago looking at U.S. investment and trade, we decided that if we're going to have a summit, we better have an updated report. So we have something to not only look back from, but look forward as well with. So with that, I would like to ask Stacy Ligas from KPMG. She's a partner at KPMG and has been instrumental in helping us put that together. And she's going to share a few highlights with you. So Stacy, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Can I get the slides on, please? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure today to introduce to you the latest report prepared by KPMG and American Chamber of Commerce on American investment in Poland. This report aims at presenting a snapshot of American business operations in Poland and how it is contributing to the growth and development of the Polish economy. As President Duda already mentioned introducing our meeting today, since 1990s, when the capital from across Atlantic began to flow to Poland, the operations of American companies in Poland have undoubtedly been one of the very main pillars of Poland's new and growing economy. At present, it is estimated that American investment in Poland reached a record 130 billion zloty as of first quarter of 2018. This ranks the United States one of the largest foreign investors in Poland, next to Germany and France. Most of the enterprises that invest in Poland from America selected Central Poland, Warsaw area for their location, but also, as Tony mentioned before, the other half is spread all across Poland. Another key impressive statistic to mention is the value of trade exchange between Poland and the United States, that as of the latest information available for 2016, reached a total of 43 billion zloty. The value of exports from Poland to the United States reached a record $4 billion, the very first time ever in 2013, and have been steadily increasing from that amount. Second slide, please. As it was already mentioned, companies with American capital are also among major foreign employers in Poland. Based on the latest available data from 2015, they had a workforce of 212,000 employees, and AmCham estimates that currently it is a number of 220,000 employees. That is a 20% growth from 2012. Total wages and salaries that these American enterprises paid in 2015 was 19.5 billion zloty. And that means that their employees on average earned 7.8 thousand a month. And for 2015, that was nearly double of the Polish national average wage. Another statistic that demonstrates how strongly these businesses are integrated into Polish economy is the number of their local business partners. And here, very notably, 21% of surveyed members of AmCham indicated that they work with as many as 500 or over local business partners. American companies engage in a variety of business sectors with production and service companies being the most numerous. And here, 80 members of AmCham have indicated that they have already built more than 150 manufacturing facilities across Poland. While in 2016, we noted that the direct foreign investment that comes from America mainly focused on service industry, that is predominantly by opening shared service centers across Poland, with 73,000 people already being employed at American shared service centers across Poland. Another important fact to mention is also that 35%, so more than 1/3 of these surveyed, have indicated that they employ more than 100 employees in their research and development facility. That's a very important fact to mention, because research and development investment is the one among the key factors to successful innovative projects. Next slide, please. And the last but not least, I want to share with you some qualitative aspects that could be observed. Because operations of American companies in Poland, it's not only about creating new jobs. As you can see, based on the survey that was performed among the members of the AmCham, we can see that large majority of these companies operating in Poland engage in corporate social responsibility activities as well as charity. Most of these are supporting and cooperating with selected foundations, or as it is for many of the largest investors, working through their own established foundations. But very importantly, they also cooperate closely with local schools and universities, mostly through offering internship opportunities for the most talented students, but also working through a variety of educational programs that aim at preparing young people for the workforce. And the last statistic I want to mention here is about how American companies strive to promote gender equality in the workplace. As American companies operating in Poland have quite impressive statistics in that area already. 40% of the respondents among the AmCham companies indicated that women are approximately 50% of their total workforce. But even more notably, about half of these respondents indicated that women are holding management positions in 40% or more cases. This in turn helps to improve ethical standards in business environment in Poland. And this is it for my short overview. I hope you look into the report and find a lot more insightful information. Thank you.